Okay, Coach Scotty here, and I want to talk about running shoes. This is a question I get a lot when I coach people for endurance athletics, especially marathons, ultra marathons, or triathlons. But anybody getting into running, even copious amounts of walking, and honestly, every day, running shoes are critically important. And here's the big thing. It's been done wrong for like 70 years. There's a huge problem with running shoes. Once I changed that to a better shoe, everything about it fixed. Now, let me talk about it. People say you want to go to a running store, a good running store, and you want to get properly fitted for the right running shoes. So what's going to happen is you're going to get to the running store. They will make you take your old shoes off, and either in your bare feet, typically, or sock feet, they're going to have you walk back and forth while they watch your feet. They're looking for pronation. They're looking for your arch dropping, right? It's dropping at the inner ankle. It's called pronation as opposed to supination, okay? They're looking to see if you've got high arches or low arches. Do you have flat feet? They're looking at stuff like that. And that's all pretty good stuff, but it's not necessarily running biomechanics. And here's the big problem. When they see that you pronate, your arch collapses a little bit, your ankle drops a little bit, you're a little bit toes out when you walk, they're going to prescribe a shoe that has arch control, pronation control. And here's the problem with that. And I went to one of the best running stores there was with one of the most amazing runners who was the guru. And he watched me walk back and forth with my bare feet. I've seen this over and over again. He said, okay, you need very specific running shoes. So he put me in these Asics Gel Kianos. They have a thicker heel because I was a heel striker. And you could see that when I was walking, right? And he looked at my old shoes and looked at wear patterns. Like, oh yeah, you're a heel striker. And you pronate really bad. So gave me a shoe with plastic arch support, really rigid plastic arch support. This darker foam is higher density so that when I pronated, it was resistant to pronation. Seemed logical. And because he knew I was a heel striker, the back corner of my shoe was gel. Oh, so good. Gel, right? And then a little bit of gel at the front of the shoe, right in here. So all of this traction control, pronation control, a fat heel and a thin forefront, more cushion to absorb my bad heel strike. Okay, but it never stopped to ask the question, how was I running? Why was I heel striking? Why was I pronating? And as a running coach, that's what I focus on. Changing your running style so that you're not causing damage. So I got these shoes and I ran in them. I did my first Ironman in them, my first marathon in these shoes. I destroyed my feet. I ended up with bunions, plantar fasciitis, heel spurs, IT band syndrome, knee problems, and hip problems. And I thought, well, it was just because I didn't train right, or I didn't train enough, or blah, 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 blah. It was the friggin' shoes. Here's another thing. Most shoe designs are shaped like this. Okay? They curve in a little bit at the big toe, and they curve in a lot at where your pinky toe is. But I've traced my foot. You tell me what's wrong with this picture. It doesn't match at all. And that's almost every shoe. I'm going to show you something. And this is very critical whether you're a runner or just being athletic. If you look at my feet, and I kind of have to guess here because I can't see, I think this is good. Running shoes are going to push your big toe over and tuck your pinky toe in so that your foot looks like that insole. And if I put the insole down, you see how my foot doesn't fit on it until I push this in and tuck that under. What that does is lifts up my secondary toe, which I lose and blister, pushes that big toe in, which gave me a bunion, tucks the pinky toe under, I would lose that toenail. That's horrible design. Okay? So I then, after sadly 5 or 6 or 7 years of destroying my feet, I moved to a new brand of shoes called Ultra. A-L-T-R-A. They're different looking. I used to call them clown shoes when I first got them. But here's the deal. Bear with me. My stellar video editing. Not editing. Look at that as a shape. When I take this insole and I hold it up against my foot, drawing, look, it matches. Isn't that crazy? What a concept. And so, again, when I put my foot on top of this insole, I think we got you there, it fits. My foot has room to be a foot. Now, what's cool about this, not only for running, but for every day, is that when your big toe has enough room and your pinky toe has enough room that your toes can be toes, you have better balance. You have better stability. So when I went to the running store and had the expert pick my shoes based on watching me walk barefoot, he gave me shoes that compressed my toes together, huge arch support, which makes my foot weaker, and destroyed my feet because they never fixed how I was running. And that was the problem. And that's why I do video run analysis with runners, because I show you frame by frame slow motion what you're doing to cause the problems. And I'll give you a quick tip for most people, it's overturning your upper body. Because that torque, that rotation translates to your feet. You want that upper body to be calm. That's a really shortened version of an hour and a half run coaching session. So that's why I like Ultra shoes. When I started wearing those shoes, everything changed. I run double marathons, 50Ks, 85Ks, and my feet don't get destroyed. I don't have plantar fasciitis anymore. I don't have heel spurs. I don't have shin splints. I don't have IT band syndrome. I don't have hip issues. My bunions are relaxing. I don't know that they'll ever fully go away, but they used to be horrible. My big toe was kicked right over, and now it's straightening out. My feet are a full size larger now because my toes have went, Also, I wear socks that are one size too big. My feet determine that I should have a large sock, and I wear an extra large sock and thin. That lets my toes move. Tight socks that are the right size are going to push your toes together and pull everything in. Now, when you're walking a lot or running, your toes expand, they swell, they spread. And if the socks don't allow them and the shoes don't allow them, you're just begging for problems. You're begging for bone problems, blister problems, ligament problems, Morton's neuroma, nerve pain, all manner of challenges. And I have seen this over and over and over. I've been a certified NCCP coach since 2006, and I have seen tons of this problem in 19 years of coaching people for running. So I hopefully that helps you a little bit. Take your shoes, pull the insole out, trace your naked foot, and then put the insole on it. Or just put your bare foot on top of the insole. I'll bet you it doesn't fit. I'll bet you it's shoving that big toe over and tucking that pinky under, which destroys your balance, ruins the structure of your foot, and makes running horrible. Okay, so the other thing is running form. And Like I said, I would love to do a video run analysis with you. We can do it here in my studio at the treadmill. If you can't get here and you have a treadmill, I can show you what to video and how, so you can send it to me and I'll look at it. I'll go frame by frame. I'll do stop things. I'll put lines on it and I'll show you what you're doing that's creating shin splints, creating knee problems, IT band syndrome, plantar fasciitis. I can show you how you're creating it. I've done this over and over and over again. I've had people go from running in pain to running pain-free. I've had people with, one guy had multiple knee surgeries, ACL twice, MCL, right? And then run 100 kilometers with no knee pain. So that's what I'm passionate about. But somebody asked the question about choosing running shoes. It's why I'm a big fan of Ultra shoes, ALTRA. They are the best wide platform shoes. And a lot of shoes, Brooks, Saucony, like, oh, we have wide toe box. They're still shoving the big toe over. They've just made the shoe wider in the wrong direction. They need to move that big toe over. Ultra is the only shoe that does that I've ever seen, right? Other than barefoot shoes. But barefoot shoes are a terrible idea because we're not used to running barefoot. Our ligament structure can't handle running barefoot. Like, well, the Kenyans and the Mexicans run barefoot. Yeah, they've been doing it since they were born. We haven't. We've had shoes since we were born. So barefoot running shoes, you're going to destroy your ligaments and you're going to be seeing a physiotherapist a lot. So anyway, those are my thoughts on running shoes. I hope that's helpful. I'm trying to compress a lot into one little thing. Hopefully it makes sense. If you have any questions, reach out.